What is going on, Ada Nation? Happy Friday. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Thank you guys for jumping back in to another Dapp Central video. If it's your first time stopping by, my name is Fareed, and I'm aiming to provide you guys in the community with the latest news and updates surrounding the top Cardano projects. The first topic I want to jump into is going to be surrounding the weekly Cardano Development report. And then following that, I want to take a brief look at the NFT volume by share over the course of the last week. After that, I've got some updates surrounding a 100K plus rug, which has unfortunately taken place here on the Cardano network. Now that is going to be surrounding Nano Frames, which was a physical product which was supposed to house NFTs or digital assets. After that, I've got some updates surrounding TapTools, which is growing very quickly and becoming one of my favorite places to go to for analytics and trading data. Following that, we're going to jump into an update surrounding Iagon and a few proposals, I should say, surrounding adding them into some DeFi protocols. Last but not least, we've got some updates here and a rebrand in terms of their website and user interface for the TeddySwap DEX. If it's the first time that you and I are meeting, my goal is to provide you guys in the community with the latest news, tutorials, and reviews. I'm also a single stake pool operator operating the official Dapp Central stake pool. If you'd like to support me on my mission to educate the broader Cardano and crypto community, then consider delegating with the stake pool. Jumping into the first topic as a part of today's video, I want to take a brief review of the weekly development report. So we now have over 136 projects building on Cardano, with about the same amount that we've had here in terms of projects building, which is right around 1,200. In terms of native tokens, we're now at 8.6 million, with around the same amount of token policies, which is 77,000. Looking on the left-hand side there, we now have a brand new Cardano node version, which is going to be 8.1.2, which has officially been released to SPO. So go ahead and make sure to update your Cardano nodes if you are running a stake pool. Now we also have some ongoing work for Lace, which is going to be the wallet developed by IOG. And I recently covered a huge update here surrounding Alex, who was one of the key developers and the key leads here for the actual Lace wallet, who's now going to be stepping away from his current role at IOG. So unfortunate news there, but the team will still keep on trucking. Right below that, we've got some ongoing reviews and integration of SIP number 1694 workshop and some feedback. Now, these particular workshops have been taking place all across the world. We've seen some taking place in Vancouver, Canada. We've seen some taking place in Dallas as well as Philadelphia. So check your local area. There might be some SIP classes around you if you guys are trying to get involved in the Cardano governance process. Right below that, we've got a brief update surrounding Project Catalyst funding round number 10, which we're going to have the review stage continuing to play out. Now, I am going to be having a live stream tomorrow with LGC Josh, or Josh from Late Game Crypto, breaking down some of the top proposals that we've seen here within the ecosystem. Right after that, we've got lesson number 15 of the Haskell Bootcamp course, which has officially been published. In closing, we have the Mithril Beta protocol, which is now live on the main net. So some pretty big updates here, but I wanted to kick that off here as a part of today's video. The next thing I want to jump into is going to be a brief update surrounding the NFT market and what we've seen in terms of trading activity. Coming in at number one, we've got the Ape Society, which has released their Sauna, the Plunge stake pool, as well as their recently released Levy Finance protocol, allowing you to tap into the NFTs or into the liquidity that your NFTs hold. And they've taken over 8.79% of the market share over the course of the last week alone. Coming in at number two, we've got the Earth nodes from the World Mobile team. And this particular collection has been really doing some crazy numbers. Now keep in mind that each of these NFTs does have, I believe it's around 100,000 of the WMT tokens tied to them, which is why they're so expensive on the market. But right now their floor price is at about 90,000 ADA. So they're coming in at number two with over 8.25% of the market share in the last 7 days. Coming in at number three, and we're going to be talking about these TapTools NFTs here in just a minute, we have Tappy by TapTools. Now, TapTools is going to be, again, one of my fastest growing analytical platforms that I check almost daily when it comes to the Cardano network. If you're not familiar with the actual utility behind the Tappy NFT, they'll allow for you to get access to the Pro version or the Pro features, which I'll be breaking down some of them here as a part of today's video. Following that, we've got the book token, Gutenberg Bible Collection, collecting about 4.67% of the market share. And they just had their recent ITO or initial token offering, selling the V2 version of their token. After that, we've got the Muesli Swap Hungry Cows, and I'm not surprised to see these here at all. Their floor price is currently at about 70 or so ADA, which is up about 2x from where they were before. Now, keep in mind that because of the initial attention that Muesli Swap has gotten with their milk token, as well as the launch of OPT for the option flow protocol, which is going to be the first options trading platform on Cardano, we're now seeing a lot of increase because these particular NFTs have a unique bit of utility, which is to boost some of the yield farms here and some of the yield that you can earn from the milk or from the Muesli Swap DEX, So that they're going to be coming in at number 5. Right behind them, we've got Clay Nation, followed by Cornucopias. We've also got the Laundromat, which I'm looking at their art there, which I really like, but I haven't actually seen what they're all about, so I'll check them out here probably after this video. After that, we've got Cornucopias again, and then we've got the majority of the rest of the NFTs grabbing the rest of the liquidity. So again, a brief update, just briefly touching on some of the top collections here that you might be keeping an eye on if you're an NFT connoisseur. Now we're going to jump into the next story here, which is going to be surrounding a 100K plus rug, which has officially been confirmed on the Cardano network. So unfortunate news, but I want to give you guys the facts here so you guys are fully aware as to what has been going on. So what this is going to be surrounding is going to be a product called Nano Frames. If you guys have ever watched videos of, for example, Carl from the Moon, BitBoy Crypto, they have these really fancy portraits or frames which they're able to use to display their NFTs. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up a picture here, but this is what they look like. Now, these are supposed to be nano frames, again, for allowing you to view your NFTs, and you can quickly change them because, again, it's all being done digitally. Now, this was being sold by a particular person here from within the Cardano community known as Captain Nano. So it states here, time to expose Mr. Captain Nano, who is running the sales for the Nano Frames as a serial rugger. So it states here, the pre-sale Nano Frames have not been delivered for the last 3 years. Pixel.page, which I believe was the website that they had these Nano Frames being sold for, is no longer working. And there's been no communication from him on Discord or Twitter in the last 3 months. So we've got a screenshot here from Druzy, which states, are there any updates about the 2020 frame buyers refunds? I'd like to get a refund as promised versus the frame delivery. So we've got somebody who's been waiting on this for 3 years. Guys, that's a really long time. So they're asking for a refund instead of actually getting the product delivered. And we've got a response there from Captain Nano at the very bottom stating, see above, as soon as the VC funds are in, you'll get your refund. Now, I'm not sure what kind of VC funds he's requiring, especially if people have paid him up front for these physical products, but that is the case. Now, the Cardano Times wrote a full article. I'm not going to be able to break this down. As you guys can see, it's quite a lengthy article. It goes behind the actual sales of the Nano Frames and then breaks everything down as it pertains to Captain Nano and some of his associates. Now, there's one portion that I do want to touch on, and it reads here. Let me zoom in a little bit there. Furthermore, Captain Nano admitted to sending over $100,000 in small amounts with the money he raised through the sales of Nano Frames to an old business associate and friend named Daniel, who also joined the team. Now, allegedly, for the purpose of having Daniel to pay the manufacturer on behalf of the business. That right there in itself seems very shady. You should be able to pay for those pieces of hardware on your own without having to rely on somebody else to do that on the business's behalf. But that was the route that they took. So that in itself was a red flag. Following that, Daniel then proceeded to attempt to withdraw the entire $100,000 from his bank account in a single withdrawal, prompting a swift freeze on his accounts, given these types of withdrawals are extremely suspicious in the financial legacy systems and raise numerous red flags. I couldn't agree more. If you try to go to JP Morgan Chase or Bank of America and you ask for $100,000, they are going to ask for some paperwork and some reasoning as to why you want to withdraw that amount. So again, that left the team basically with no funds. So that, I think, is the main reason why they're not able to refund anybody at this time. But again, this is speculation on my behalf. I'm not exactly sure as to what sources the Cardano Times has spoken to, but this does seem to line up with at least what Druzy mentioned on that prior post. So unfortunate news there, but I did want to report this here. Again, this was surrounding the Nano Frames. That is going to be the second story that I wanted to briefly mention there. And some key things to highlight. So number one, over $100,000 basically vanished, right? And that's the risk that we take here within this crypto space and investing in startups. Again, keep in mind that I believe it's like 19 out of 20 startups will fail, or 1 out of 20 will make it. So the odds are very, very slim when it comes to investing in crypto, which is why I personally always urge for people to do their own research. Now, that said, no one has yet to receive an actual refund. So this $100,000 plus whatever else may have been siphoned off has yet to be returned back over. And as I mentioned earlier, this guy has not been active on Twitter or Discord in the last 3 months. Now, I think he's kind of axed himself from the community. If he was to ever even step face into any platform or any real world event, he would be identified immediately, and people, I'm sure, would be like hawks on him to get their funds back and to get questions answered. Now, that said, I do have to mention that I did actually see these frames being sold last year when I attended CNFTCon, which took place in Las Vegas. However, I didn't personally purchase them, but I did know a few people that did end up purchasing them. So unfortunate situation there. And it's always a really good reminder here as to why you always have to be careful, even when it comes to the sale of physical products. A lot of times we get caught up in purchasing crypto assets, which are all digital, but even with some of these physical products, we can still have these issues here with people not delivering, which is why it's always best to watch from a distance. And once people have actually shown that they are worth their value and that they are doing what they say that they're doing, then you can always jump into a project or support that particular person. I know that sometimes it can be difficult, especially with FOMO, as to waiting, especially when you see other people hyping something up. But I always recommend that you guys do due diligence. And this is a clear example as to why. So I'm not going to harp on that too much more there, but I did want to touch on that as a part of the second update here for today's Cardano Scoop. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I have to talk about the TapTools NFTs. This team continues to provide more and more features, with their latest being the ability to view your total profit or losses from your entire portfolio. So not only do you have the ability to view all of the Cardano native tokens and their price action, as well as the ability to add a lot of charting tools, which include the SMAs, VWAPs, RSI, stochastics, all of that. But you can now also even see your trade history and then exactly how well you've been faring over the course of the last few trades. So you can now see how much realized profit you have, or realized losses, as well as unrealized profits and unrealized losses. So that's the first update there, but that's not all here. I've got another update here for the TapTools NFTs, and this is going to be surrounding another new feature that was just released, which will allow for you to view the liquid value of your portfolio. So this is basically anything that's not locked up in NFTs, which those tend to be a little bit illiquid because you have to wait for somebody else to purchase them. But with fungible tokens, you can now quickly head over to DEX, whether it's an order book style DEX or an AMM style DEX, and quickly reveal or retrieve some of the value within the CNTs or Cardano native tokens that you currently hold. So another brief update there, again, briefly touching on TapTools. If you guys want to find out more about their NFT, you can head over to jpeg.store and search for Tappy. And I believe right now their floor price is at about 1,000 ADA. And I believe that they minted for about 420 ADA. Now, keep in mind that when you do purchase a single Tappy NFT, that'll give you access to the Pro platform for, I believe, 420 days. But if you hold at least 5, you'll have lifetime access to the TapTools Pro, geez, that's a mouthful there, for life. So if you hold 5 of them, you get TapTools Pro for life. And if you hold a single one, you get TapTools Pro for 420 days. That's going to wrap it up there for that story. And I'm going to work on this. I got a recent comment to not say that's going to wrap it up, but moving on to the next section. So let me do that because I don't want you to click out of the video, obviously. So that said, we're going to move over to the next section of today's video, breaking down some updates surrounding Iagon. So Iagon is going to be a platform that will allow for you to store data on the Cardano network or using the Cardano network's infrastructure. Let me be clear about that. And it's going to be doing it in a decentralized way. Now, that said, we now have over 100 nodes and counting. And if you guys missed it, they launched their testnet for their node providers about a month or so ago. I did release a fully dedicated video breaking the entire process down. So if you guys are interested about that, then go ahead and check out that particular video. So what's really cool about this here, I think for me, is the way that they're able to visualize all of the current nodes. At the very bottom there, we've got the country where the nodes are at and exactly how many nodes are running in that particular country. So a very brief update there and some progress coming in from Iagon. And the next piece of news I have here is going to be surrounding a proposal to add Iagon to the Liquid protocol. Now, Liquid is a lending and borrowing platform building on Cardano, and they launched in the beginning of February of 2023. And since then, they launched with ADA as a market. They now also have adopted, I believe it's IUSD and JET. So they've got a few markets here, but they're looking to add another one, which is going to be the Iagon token. So this is a proposal released by It's Danny, which I'm actually going to be talking about another proposal here in just a minute that he's also launched. But it's basically to let the community have a warm-up vote to add the Iagon token as a market on Liquid. So you'll be able to either borrow Iagon from Liquid or you'll be able to put it up as liquidity in order to earn a yield. If I scroll down, we can see that the votes right now are a total of 29 votes, with 89% being a vote for yes. So I believe that this will be going on chain if this is how this is going to work here for Liquid. I'm not sure about their voting protocol. I do believe that they have an on-chain vote, but I may be wrong about that. So if you understand the Liquid voting process a little bit better than I do, then please make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. I definitely do appreciate your time for that. If I jump over into the next tab, we've got It's David or It's Danny again, launching another proposal, this time for LendFi to add the Iagon token as a collateral asset. And again, this is going to be very similar to the SNEC vote that we just saw taking place on LendFi surrounding adding that particular meme coin as a collateral asset. I mentioned this before and I'll mention it again. Normally, when we see these collateral votes taking place on LendFi, the people or the LendFi holders are a little bit more reluctant, or a little less reluctant, I should say, to actually add new assets as collateral. That's because if you add it as collateral and there is a black swan event or a huge price crash, you could see a massive wave of liquidation. So a lot of times when they're voting for collateral assets, the votes tend to be a little bit close, with the recent vote being, I think it was like 50% to like 49.5% for the SNEC collateral vote. So I'll be keeping an eye out on this to see how close the Iagon vote is. But right now, as a part of their warm-up vote, before this actually goes on chain, which it actually might already be on chain, I take that back, but we already have 94% of the votes agreeing to add Iagon as a collateral asset. So again, if you hold LQ or if you hold the LendFi token, go ahead and make sure to exercise your governance rights by going ahead and actually participating in those two votes. Now, if you guys have made it this far into the video, I would really appreciate it if you guys could tap that like button. It's one of the easiest ways to support me here on this channel and helps to get this content out to the broader Cardano community. And it also lets the algorithm know that I'm doing a good job. I appreciate you guys doing that. And we're going to jump into the very last topic here for today's video. So what we have here is going to be a rebrand from the official TeddySwap platform. So TeddySwap is a stablecoin decentralized exchange building on Cardano. Not only will they offer stable swaps, which are basically swaps between two different types of stable coins, you'll also be able to use it to swap for Cardano native assets. So a pretty big update here when it comes to the rebrand on their website, but that is not all. In closing, what we now have is a new UI or user interface when it comes to their DEX. So at the top, we've got some of the different sections, which include the dashboard, the ability to trade or swap, as well as their liquidity, farms, and trading competitions, which I'm interested and eager to find out more about. But right below there, we've got the portfolio. And then at the right-hand side, we've got the portfolio, including LP and farm positions. Right below that, we can see the liquidity that somebody has provided, as well as their farms displayed again. On the right-hand side, we've got the quick ability to swap between two tokens, which in that image, they're showing IUSD and JET. And then right below that, we've got some of the broader market data displaying some of the top market movers. Now, the TeddySwap team, has launched their testnet. And if you guys want to find out more about that, feel free to jump into their Discord, where they do share a lot of information and they're super responsive and helpful for anybody looking to join their community. That is going to do it here for today's Cardano Scoop, breaking down the latest Cardano updates, the Nano Frames RUG, as well as some updates for TapTools, Iagon, and TeddySwap. If you guys found any of this particular video to be helpful or insightful at all, or if you just learned anything along the way, I'd really be thankful if you could tap that like button. If it's your first time stopping by the channel and you want more content like this, consider subscribing. And if you have any questions for me surrounding Cardano or any other projects that I broke down as a part of today's video, then as always, make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below. That said, I will see you guys in the next video.